it is on. But
Yeah, this is cool because we're live here
we're live
at FinCon 18. Yeah, the Real Estate Nerds Podcast, everybody. Of course, I'm your host, Scott Royal Smith. I'm here with Monique. We're both at FinCon 2018 right now. I'm taking this in the lobby of the hotel, which is very exciting. A place that we're actually being able to shoot now instead of like stuffed away in studios.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. It's been really great so far. I've been really enjoying it, and I'm excited to talk to you here today because we just went through a little bit what the show format was, and you agreed to do Worst Deal.
Yes.
Which, hey guys, this is actually very exciting because like she's super duper on the spot right now with like what's going on. So it'll be a really fun show, I'm sure.
Yeah,
to go with it.
I'm currently in it.
Yeah.
About to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, give us a little bit of background, Monique, on like who you are, as we need to know like about this Worst Deal that we're going to be going through today, so we can
Okay.
kind of like get a backdrop of like what is it like to be Monique going into this Worst Deal.
All right, cool. So, Monick Halm, and I'm a syndicator now, mostly. So I bring groups of investors together to purchase larger properties, and these were actually our first apartment syndications, and there were two of them, a 51 unit and 77 unit buildings that were pretty close together. So we bought them separately, but within a week of each other, and managing them together in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and had really high hopes.
Really high hopes.
Really high hopes for the.
But these are first. These weren't your. Was these your first apartments that you had invested in that you were syndicating?
That we were syndicating.
That you were syndicating.
Yeah, so
okay.
we'd passively invested, and then we'd syndicated a mobile home park, and then these were our first apartments.
Okay.
And it was a new market. I live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So I live in Albuquerque, and we had a partner who's done other apartment deals before, but
Not there?
But he's in Dallas. So
I was in Dallas. So new market for both of you.
New market for
Okay.
both of us. We had actually found the deals, and then we brought him in as an experienced partner, but it was a totally new market, and it was
That actually sounds pretty smart so far.
Yeah,
like that sounds pretty good. Like you find a good deal, the numbers probably matched up right.
The numbers
it's experienced
made sense.
person.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and according to like the data, the like occupancy was high. Like all the factors that should have been there were there.
Yeah.
Except they weren't. So it was just like really hard. So I think the previous owner had stuffed the buildings with people that weren't paying rent. So,
Oh no.
I think one of the things that we didn't do as well was look at the dates of when the apartments had gotten filled. So really like see like how long have all these tenants been here? So we were looking through that.
That was a due diligence.
Yeah, so that's part of that.
Yeah.
Although there were people that had been there a while, they just weren't paying.
Yeah.
And they hadn't been kicked out. And we didn't pay as much attention to the delinquency. And I think they were also not quite reporting,
Probably a little shady and like
it was
some of the
like
way they were
mom
doing
and
it.
pop.
Yeah. The records like aren't like they're like, oh, these are pretty messy.
Yeah.
It's hard to probably see it. I've seen those deals before, and it's
Yeah.
hard to actually be clear on like what exactly is happening here.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably, I would bet in this scenario they're probably like pretty charismatic sellers. Fair to say? No?
We weren't really dealing with the sellers, it was more the brokers, but
Oh,
they
okay.
were like,
Okay.
and we kept with one of the property management companies that is like the biggest property management company in the state, and they should have been great, and it was their building, and they were saying, well, the problem is with this building that previous owner has not put any money into it. And so, and we're like, but we're coming in, we're here to value add, and we're gonna put money in, we're gonna fix it up. But we came in, and it was just like the occupancy. We had to obviously get rid of people who weren't paying.
Yeah.
But the occupancy kept going down and down, and it was really hard to gear it up. That property management company was really not very good.
Yeah.
So we put in another one that was better, but still, it was always hard to get the numbers.
Yeah.
That we needed and that we wanted for our investors. So it was really like lots of sleepless nights because it's bad when it's not performing like you want and it's your own money, but when you have other people's money on the line.
Oh, it's so much worse.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's so stressful.
So
and everybody's
stressful.
angry with you.
Everyone was very generous. I mean, we
Yeah.
we communicate a lot to our investors. Every month we would tell them like, here's where we are, here's
Yeah.
what's happening, here's what
Yeah.
we're working on, here's what we're trying, here's what, so we're doing a lot of things to fix the problem.
Yeah.
Shifting staff around and fixing, figuring out where the leaks were. And then some of our issues were, it's just like part of the culture, and finding people that would, like vendors or businesses that would show up, that would
Just
bid.
even hiring people to be able to come in to do the work
Yeah.
and stuff.
So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
We were, I didn't know this before, which maybe I should have known. That would have been good due diligence. But Albuquerque is the carjacking capital of the country. So it has more carjackings than anywhere else.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's like,
something to be famous for.
I know. I was like, yay. So we had gone, we were visiting the property last summer, and 2 cars had just been like stolen from our lot. And we thought, well, we talked to our property manager, said, would it raise the value? Would it help if we had a security fence around the property? So I was like, yeah, that would totally make a difference. So we contacted 5 companies. 2 never returned our calls. one called us back up for 3 weeks. One actually called us back like the next day, and then one was like 3 days later. But having them come out took a while. Having them after they came out, like bidding, actually giving us a proposal,
Yeah.
took like several weeks. We had to like, hey,
Are you guys actually, do you want my money?
Can
or
I?
no?
Yeah, it's
Or,
like, I want to give you a lot of money to do the thing that you say you want to do.
Right.
It's like,
They're like, we don't really want to do it that bad.
You're like-
we're really not that interested in actually doing any of
exactly.
the work.
And then
Yeah.
once we finally found, like, of the 2 that actually bid, we picked one. 9 months it took to get that fence up.
9 months.
9 months.
Wow. That's incredible.
It was incredible. And then they put a solar gate, and the battery doesn't work very well. So it'll work for like a day, and then the battery runs out, and then it defaults to open for 3 days.
Wow,
And so
recharges.
we have a 40-foot opening for this property.
Which is the case the whole reason for the gate.
Yeah, so it's
That
pretty,
people don't feel actually any safer at all.
they shouldn't.
No, because they shouldn't.
Because it's a wide open gate.
Yeah. So bad.
So anyway, it's been like that a lot.
Yeah.
For all sorts of things. So it's a really hard market. But I will say one thing that we've totally lucked out at is that the market cap rates have gone down, and we found there was a seller that approached us about buying the properties with some, and we have a price where we can sell the property
Okay.
at these properties at a good. We have a good sale price, so
Yeah.
we're able to,
Get
do
out.
well by our
Yeah.
investors and
Yeah.
So,
well,
but
that's
it's-
good. So tell me about the lessons learned though from going through something like this, right?
Yeah.
Like there must have been 1,000 learning points along the way.
Yeah,
It sounds like a hell of a
absolutely.
struggle to go through.
It was.
Yeah.
So we've learned a lot about the team, the importance of the team. So your team is everything. Having a good team on the ground is really,
Is that your
really
boots are your
important.
property manager?
Yeah, your
do you have
property
like your
managers.
contractors?
Yeah,
Those people, are they vetted?
But also the property managers have to be really good and on top of things, and then and they have to have good vendors who are on top of things. So that's made a huge difference, and just understanding the market and being, especially if you're out of state, like when things are going well, you don't really need to see their properties that much, but when they're not, you definitely have to be there because you see things when you're there that you don't necessarily when you're away.
And nobody tells you. You're like,
Yeah.
how could you guys not tell me about this? This is obviously like a problem.
This is a problem.
Yeah.
That our gates are open for 3
Right.
days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well,
Like, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just, but so you just have to be there. But when things are great, right, when it's working, and like everything's, then you can be fairly passive and hands off. But when there are issues, be there. And then also, but we relied on our network to get advice on, how we can set up better systems to look at, to work with the property managers to make sure that things are happening. And so I guess those are the main.
When you say your network, is that like your professional network?
Yeah,
or
like
is
our
that your mastermind group or something like that? Okay. How did you, like, I know a lot of people are probably looking for a network, right?
Yes.
Everybody's trying to be like, how can I associate with really talented people that are going to help me get to that next level?
Yeah.
How did you guys find that group? What would that look like?
We're part of a group with our mentor Brad Simrock. So he has an apartment investing group. So through that we met our experience partner and a lot of our investors, and a lot of our investors are also syndicators. So we actually masterminded with them, like our experienced investors that were syndicators.
Okay.
And saying like, let's brainstorm. Let's try to let's figure this out, right?
Yeah.
How can we get out of this mess?
Which I bet is fun for them.
Yeah.
To be able to like, wow, that's really bad. Let's figure out all together. This is a good puzzle.
Yeah. Like, did you try this?
Yeah.
Did you try that?
Yeah.
Like, what about this?
Come to find out, everybody, just to let you know that investor communities love it when somebody's deal's not going well, because they're like, oh my God, this will be so much fun to try to solve. Like, while you're suffering in it will be their best day of being like, that is a really interesting problem to not be totally screwed on.
But a lot of them, they'd had similar problems, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we've had this. We've had to fire property managers. We've had to do this. We've had to do that. So here's what worked for us. So that was really helpful to have that. So yeah, tapping into your community, into a network was really helpful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that is a great lesson from today that I picked up from yours, which is like you can even get in doing a lot of things right? Like we're experienced in the field, you've done some other deals before, you have somebody that's really experienced that you're partnering with in there. That should usually tackles almost every problem that comes in. Like 95% of people like never have a problem as long as they do both of those things. But I have seen a lot before where people will still have a deal that'll go wrong. What's cool about your story is that you already had like your backup network to already say like, all right, I have my team of trusted advisors, like your own little mastermind group that are professionals in the same area that you can rely on to help dig your way out of the hole, so to speak, of like coming out of it. So it's like you have like multiple layers of safety. And it looks like your bottom one like lets you work your way out of it.
Yeah,
you know?
we did. So with our money intact plus a little friends, not as much as we'd hope, but we're coming out positive plus. So yeah.
Listen, you made money on the deal.
Yeah.
The great thing about real estate is if you keep working at it and you have given enough time, you usually can come out like positive.
Exactly.
As long as you have an up market, which is in right now. So thank God for the up market. It's amazing.
God, like literally. I was like, it's a miracle this virus come. Literally. It was totally like, thank God.
Yeah, absolutely. Yahweh, Jesus, whoever you are, you paid my bills.
Like,
I love you.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's a win-win. So it was like the buyer's happy, we're happy. It like solves his problems, solves our problems. It's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody that wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way is, for the ladies who would like some support, I have real estate.
What's your network again?
So realestatinvestorgoddesses.com.
Yeah.
So it's a.
Is that for just women only that are trying to get inside of real estate? Is that right?
Yeah, it's for women because there are a lot of guys in this field and not as many of us ladies.
Yeah.
And so it's our sisterhood. It's learning. It's community. It's that network of women. I call it our Sassy Sisters Network.
Oh, the Sassy Sisters.
It's like, there's an old boys network with a Sassy Sisters network.
That's great.
And then on the investing side, if you go to VIP-assets.com, then you can connect with me as an investor. That's for the dudes too.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any giveaways or anything like that you typically do, like with people connecting with you, like, oh, I got my free PDF or something like that of what we do with the Sassy Sisters? Or
I'm about to. So if you go to the website and join the community, we're going to be doing a 7-day challenge to get you ready to invest. So a lot of people are like, I don't know if I'm ready to get invested. Like, how much money do I need? Am I set up? And it's a challenge to get you ready.
Get you primed. What's your foundation?
Get you primed, like foundation wise, so you know when you're ready and when you're ready.
Nice.
7 days is just like, it's an assessment. So we're going to go through all the steps, and then you're going to know like, this is what I have to do to get ready, or I'm already ready. Let's hit the ground running.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And what's the website again?
realestateinvestorgoddesses.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It was
Everybody,
fun.
this is, of course, I'm Scott Royal Smith. This is a Real Estate Nerds podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today. Go ahead and drop a review. 5 stars is cool. I'll even take 4 or whatever, Just make sure if you can please leave us a review, that'd be great. And check out, if you're a woman, you're looking in real estate, I think this is a great way to get started in it. It's just to try to say, maybe you're wondering about, is this the right direction I want to go to? Is this the right time for me? What do I really need? That'll be a great way to just be able to get that baseline information. A lot of the stuff we talk about typically on the show is pretty high level with super big investors. This is one of the first steps you actually need to do to actually take action without really deciding I'm gonna invest yet. It's just to know am I ready for it, right?
Yep.
So I think that's an awesome way to come up with it. And go check our website. And we'll see you again, guys, here real soon. So thanks for tuning in.